Tony's a bully!
You had to know going in it would happen.
Welcome.
Oh man.
Welcome,
Did you
my
get it all?
friends, to Reality Break 20.
Break
take
your
a break
reality.
from the.
Oh,
We take a break from the real world and play some D&D and play jokes on each other all the time.
D, save those. We might have to fight another chimera.
Yo, God, yeah. Wait, are you calling her a goblin?
And D
Oh
was
my
never
God.
heard from again.
I was just saying, I might have to leave this call. It might get toxic here in a minute.
D,
Right?
that'll make you feel better. D, you want to make you feel better?
What?
This will make you feel better. I got shat on by a bird today, so in comparison,
That's good luck!
That's good luck! Hey!
Good luck.
That's good luck!
Good job! Now what's gonna make me feel better?
You are an above average person.
Hey! D&D!
That'll make you feel better. That'll make anyone feel better.
Wow!
And you know what else could make you feel better, D?
Well, it's like, I don't know.
Yes.
Clips do make me feel better. That's all I'll say. I'm just kidding. We run on
is
clips.
thinking about it.
America runs on Duncan. Reality Break 20 runs on clips. We
I love it.
hashtag nailed it. I love clips so much that I literally ignore the campaign sometimes to make clips for the channel. That's how dedicated I am to these clips. I need you all to also be that dedicated to making clips so that I can actually pay attention to the campaign.
She's over there like, do
We
it.
would appreciate it too.
No, she's... Yeah. She's like, wait, hold on. What does Dominic need to roll? Oh, +9.
Literally
Cool.
half
Anyway.
of the time that I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I'm making clips.
She's over there clicking.
The other half is
Oh wait,
thinking
I got a
snarky
+9 to
remarks.
this. I got a +9 on this, so you know it's fine.
Oh, I forgot my.
I rolled a 2. I got a 27.
Yeah.
Are you talking about me?
Sorry, I was
rolled a
making
2,
a
I
clip.
got a 32.
It's the complete. I was making a clip. I'm so sorry. It's the complete opposite. Dominic is the complete opposite of Morag for Star Hill campaign because I can't get a decent roll for Morag to save my life. I can literally roll a nat 1 for Dominic, and it's just like, I've got it.
I'm still good.
Yeah.
I'm still okay.
I'm so good.
Yeah.
there's an
Absolutely.
ant with wings in here.
Dominic's dex bonus is clips.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your insect invasion.
Yay, clip.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of insects, what is a spider again? A land octopus?
Land octopus.
is the spider.
Land
They
octopus.
convinced
Yeah.
you that it was a
Also, speaking of clips, go check out our YouTube page. There's a clip from one of the earlier Ocerrya campaign sessions on there right now. Just posted today. So go check it out.
Yay.
TikTok or YouTube?
As well as our TikTok.
TikTok.
And
Yes.
Okay, because you
TikTok.
said YouTube. Okay, TikTok.
TikTok, YouTube.
Oh,
We have
we were
YouTube
talking
on the
about
mind,
YouTube earlier, so I'm all
folks.
confused.
We have
That's
YouTube
how
on the mind,
dare you not
folks.
be working.
Yeah.
We keep talking about it. We're gonna
Go
do
check
it.
out
Check
TikTok.
us out on YouTube because we'll be putting content on there here pretty soon.
I'm gonna start
Like
going to the
clip.
gym more.
Green element spot not working.
Things you say all the
Oh,
time
I
but
thought I
haven't
just spelled
happened yet.
socials wrong.
No, let me go in there and check it out. So the other thing is, like,
Wouldn't be the
there's a
first time.
super secret thing coming up, but that's like not a big deal. We'll talk about that some other time.
It's my
Um,
birthday.
It's
In
my
9 months.
birthday. It's my
It's my
birthday.
birthday. I love that song.
I don't know that song.
Me either. I was
Yeah.
just making.
It's the
It's-
birthday song Tony sent me on my birthday.
It's the birthday
2 years
song
ago.
which played over the BRB screen, which I totally forgot about. So like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was like two sessions ago. If you
That's
could like go to the
amazing.
BRB screen, you'll hear the birthday song playing because I forgot.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I'll play it for you on your birthday, D. It'll make you feel. It'll just make you feel.
You're gonna
good.
forget that.
It-
You're gonna forget
well,
that.
I
by
will
the time
not.
it's
No,
my
I won't,
birthday.
because I do it on everybody's birthday.
Well then, how
Unmute.
special is it if
Heart
it's on
channel,
everyone else's?
Join
as well?
channel.
Just kidding.
Join channel. Alright,
Anyway,
failed.
super secret
Super
thing,
secret special stream.
Yeah.
but
you-
it
April
is
1st.
on April 1st. That's all we can
Yes.
say
if
right
you
now.
if you want to hint
Which
on
is
it,
a
it does not
Saturday.
involve getting signed with a TV network and having a real show.
Absolutely not.
Sadly.
It's not that.
Regrettably.
But it could.
Or is it?
It could be. We're
Maybe
changing
we're
our
going to
name
look
to Mini Critical Role.
Somehow
Appreciate
I
that
It'd
on
be Critical
fly.
Role, but with a K.
Where dimensions roll.
There we go. Dimensions roll. There we go.
Critical 20.
Oh my god.
All right, let's see.
Alright.
Critical
We're getting ourselves
failures.
into too much trouble.
So, does anyone else among us announcements? Unfortunately, our Stream Elements bot is on vacation, apparently.
Heck.
Blast.
It's me. Hi. I'm the
Stream
problem.
Elements
It's
bot's
me.
the problem. It's you.
it's me.
Yeah.
It's alright, Stream Elements.
Well-
No. The other thing that started last week on Friday is the TikTok series D&D Tidbit of the Week. So go check that out as well. There'll be a new one every Friday. And if you have any little D&D things that you've picked up along the way, send them in. Post them on Twitter
socials.
or Instagram or wherever, the socials, and we'll be checking those. Put them in the chat. There we go. That's the word. Put them in the chat if you have any interesting D&D tidbits that you'd like me to look into. Let us know.
First
There's our
one was
TikTok.
very interesting. I very much enjoyed it.
I got a couple of really interesting ones.
And a couple boring ones, but I'm going to post them anyway.
And a couple boring ones. You know.
The other one's more interesting.
We've all been there.
It's like my
I think
content.
they're all interesting. I think they're all interesting. Whether or not everybody agrees is the question.
You gotta
That's fair.
have some bread with the meat to make it flavorful.
Oh.
No.
Dee's like, what?
Okay. To make it flavorful.
Yeah.
No. I'm there. I'm there.
If you're gonna make a
bland.
sandwich, it's helpful.
Therefore, it makes it better.
So bread. Makes it more-
It enhances the meat, the meat
The
flavor.
blandness?
Hey,
Yeah.
what happened last week, Kaylee? What happened last week? I need a recap. Please bail me out.
I have concerns about how you flavor your meat.
Uh-oh. I think Dee's frozen.
It's a good thing.
Oh, no, she isn't.
No, I'm not frozen. I'm just thinking. The bread of this group. For
If it's
you
me,
to
I'm wheat
decide.
Oh,
We're all the bread.
Brennan's
Yeah.
wheat bread.
I feel like we can't say
Healthy.
I am the bread.
Well, I don't
What
want to be
happened
the
last
meat.
week, Kaylee? What happened last week, Kaylee?
So anyway,
This
Like
isn't
last
actually going to
week.
be a campaign stream.
We are literally a backward sandwich. We are bread in the middle and meat on the outside.
No, it's just bread.
wi-
It's
which
just-
sand?
We're literally a loaf of bread.
A witch
Oh.
sand.
A loaf of bread.
Not a sandwich, a witch sand.
oh, which,
Ah.
Which sand?
so if you
Kaylee, what happened last week?
Hey, Kaylee, what happened last week? Can you tell me?
So if you were
No,
not
wait,
with us last
Kaylee, tell me what happened.
week- do you know what did happen this week? No, anyway.
So who is the
so-
lettuce in this group? That's what I need to know.
I'll be the pickle.
Wait. Can I be the toothpick that holds it all together?
You.
You're the olive.
No, that's Christy because she's the note taker.
Okay, well then
Oh,
I'm
there
gonna
we
be
go.
the olive
Oh
that's
god, I'm
skewered
dying.
into it all.
I'll just be the freaking condiments, just fucking splattered all over.
Listen, let's
Easy
be
out.
honest, everyone. We are pumpernickel, okay?
I don't even know what that is.
God.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the worst
No.
bread on the face
Oh my
of the planet.
Hold on, I gotta fix my chair.
Oh.
Alright. Hey Kaylee, what happened last week?
Hello, I'm Matt Mercer.
And
Oh,
scene.
Alright. Let's go.
Okay. So last week we joined our heroes on their trip back to Hazelport. They encountered a lost child who had
Oh,
lost
yeah.
their family and and had been watching the adventurers from afar, trying not to stir up any notice, but the child did get noticed. And the adventurers took the child home with them and brought some food to Natasha. There was stories exchanged and food to be had, and the child had shared that they lived in the shanty towns outside of the walls of the city, and their family worked in the docks, and both of their parents had gone missing, and that they had been sort of just fending for themselves out in the woods, basically, for the last few weeks, by a child's judge of time. And Natasha quickly took a liking to the little one, who was named Sasha. And he was called Sasha the Wise and Sasha the Brave, and was feeling very puffed up about himself.
So
and-
Ramasha brought Sasha to Natasha.
Yeah.
I'm on Sesame Street now. Cool.
Ramamasha.
Today's
Do do
episode-
do do do.
Ramasha.
Ramasha.
Do 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 do.
Ramasha.
Do 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 do.
Okay, I gotta clip that. I gotta clip it.
Please do.
Holy turd nuggets. That's amazing.
I can't do it right.
We're not
We're not
going
gonna
anywhere.
get anything done this stream.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
It's a good thing we only have one thing to do.
Are we gonna
Who
get there
gets
though?
over
Is the
there making-
question.
Making more pies. Like, how many pies do I have to?
That was the one thing that
Olga's
came
like,
up.
real man. I really wish some people would visit me right now.
By the time they get here, I'm actually gonna be good at making pies.
Quite a few times since they've been home, and even on the way and back in Fraymore, they heard talk of people and people that hung around, and this actual pastry shop itself, run by an elderly woman who is not very friendly with customer service and does not tend to serve tasty pies. Although that information was countered by Ogden, who is on the city watch, who said her pies are delicious and has never had a bad pie there. And she's not like a bright ray of sunshine, but she's never been rude other than when there's been people being nasty to her. So there's been this sort of thing kind of floating around of, okay, so like what's going on here? The other conversation that was a big one was between Natasha and Roland, where Roland is making it clear he feels that he's needed out adventuring, not only to maybe uncover information about Miro, that would be a bonus, but because there are so many people, Dominic being one of this group that he really sees Miro in, and sees that there's things that this group is facing that are starting to become bigger than they seemed on the surface. And Natasha's one demand was that that he did not leave the city without telling her the whole plan, and to stop keeping secrets if she's going to be agreeing to him running off again.
I never kept a secret from her. I told her what was going on.
His breakfast.
I just came back with a different perspective on things because of what happened. It was a perspective I didn't have when we left. Just pointing that out. I never kept. I'm smart enough to know not to keep secrets from her.
No
Roland's dumb,
secrets
but he ain't
besides
stupid.
the hot pastrami between two cheese danishes.
With a toothpick in the middle and an olive.
Yes.
A
Perfect.
D olive.
That's me. I'm
so-
the olive.
I just picture you holding on to it like a flagpole.
No, I'm just skewered right in the middle. Right through
Oh,
the
God.
middle.
Just oh god.
It's a very plain
Suddenly-
death.
Suddenly it's Vlad the Impaler. She just said,
It's a very plain death.
Eat
Not
me.
nothing of
So-
note.
So we had Ramasha going back to his
So
boarding house
cool.
where he met up with his first mate to talk about getting the crops paid for and getting any folks back to the island that needed to go. And I believe Dominic stayed with Roland in one of the children's rooms.
Yep,
And
because we
then,
have the spare rooms for it.
Right, and then Ashrin was off to her home. And you were going to meet up in the morning for breakfast, I believe.
Yep. And
And
then
I
head
need to find
the-
out if Robin actually did the map.
So that's what happened the last
Ruby,
camp.
you mean?
Oh,
Ruby.
okay.
What did I
Oh
say?
yes, and Ramasha requested
Okay.
Ruby back Dominic
Yeah,
in the morning.
that's right.
No
Let's see if
bats.
she decides.
That was a really good recap, Kaylee. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah,
took a
but
while to
several
get
things
there.
Can you do it again?
Some stuff happened.
Clip,
Ramasha-
clip it.
Wow.
Watch the clip.
Yeah.
We'll get nothing with that clip.
So now back to the
Ramasha-
sandwich conversation.
Right.
Ramasha shot. Do.
Ramasha Shah.
All right. Let's actually start the campaign.
Yes, let's play. I've
So,
been
right.
wanting.
So who's starting?
All right.
Morning of. And we have Ashrin at her home, Ramasha at his boarding house, and then Dominic, Roland, and everyone else is at the Longbeard household.
So I'm imagining, as per being a great grandfather, that I'm up at the butt crack of dawn, drinking my coffee, reading. I don't know if there's a morning newspaper or anything like that. I don't know.
Probably not. But
But
maybe
reading.
just
I'm up
discussing-
reading.
yeah.
I'm up reading a book or something like that.
Okay.
Sitting beside the window listening to Crier.
Scream.
Out there with a bell. And this morning, this guy died.
Am
My
I
foot hurts
in-
again.
Am I in a separate room from Sasha?
Yes.
Believe yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had 4 kids and each one had their own room. So one was unoccupied, you had one, Sasha had one, and then Ruby stayed the night.
Okay. I would like.
Ruby live with you?
I don't think we ever cleared
Ruby
that up.
was the
I
one
didn't.
that still live with you.
We never cleared that up. I don't
Oh.
think so.
Okay.
But we never cleared that up. I assumed she
Oh, I was
just
assuming.
crashed. Backstory, everyone. I assumed because Ruby was divorced that she crashed there from time to time, but she didn't live there. So, like, if she
Oh,
came over
okay.
and we had a late dinner, she would just crash in her room.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes
So.
sense.
I would like to wake up and go check on Sasha. I'm just gonna do like a gentle knock.
His door swings right open and he is not in the room.
Whoa. Plot twist.
Make a perception check.
What a twist.
Make a what?
History check.
Perception check. Yeah, history check. No, perception check.
Perception.
Survival.
Ah! It helps to have your character sheet up before we start playing. Okay.
Thank you for the reminder.
That should totally be a TikTok.
That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
so
20.
You can hear some giggling and quiet talking coming from the kitchen of 2 voices that you recognize to probably be Sasha and Natasha.
Okay, that I'm okay with. Giggling from like the closet or something. I'm.
The direction. Oh, from the.
I'd be like, I am not investigating that. It's gonna be a hard pass for me.
It's not even like a kid. It's like some grown man in the closet.
Yeah. I'm
Anyway.
good.
Anyway.
So I'm gonna go follow the giggles, I guess, and go into the kitchen.
Would I have noticed that
Um,
being an early riser?
Yeah, where do you usually drink your coffee and read?
Not in the kitchen. Like, I
Usually.
would go into the kitchen to make the coffee, and then I'm assuming we would have a bookcase in the living room. So I would go
Okay,
and grab
so
a book
Natasha
and,
would
like,
probably make your coffee because she'd be making it for herself as well. So you come in,
Yeah.
grab your coffee, go to the living room. So yes, she woke Sasha and asked if he wanted to help with breakfast, and he
Okay.
happily got up with her.
All right.
and is helping her. So if you follow the sounds, you would hear you'd followed into the kitchen, and Sasha's like peeling potatoes, and they're just talking about food and stuff like that.
Okay.
And Sasha's sort of like talking about watching people go around the city, because that's pretty much all he ever did while he was waiting for his parents.
Okay. I'm just gonna peek in and move on to find Roland.
She's like, "Oh, good morning, Dominic. Do you want a cup of coffee?"
No. I've never had coffee. I don't.
Oh, you should have some. You're a growing adventurer now, or you're like a man now. So here you are.
Like a man.
Almost.
Real boy. Real boy. I'm gonna take the coffee and I'm gonna like sniff it and then.
You seem to be good at sniffing things.
Here you go, and she brings over a little bit.
My God.
She's like, "If you need it, here you go." She brings over the milk and the sugar.
She goes over and brings you everything.
Try a
Let's
couple
get down
spoonfuls
to
of this.
business.
I'm just gonna kind of. It's a bit bitter. Oh, can I just have a glass of water?
It is. It's bean juice.
Of course, I'll get you some water then.
Thank you. Do you know where Roland is?
He's probably just right off in the other room, drinking his coffee and reading whatever it is he's reading these days.
Oh, okay. I'll. Thank you.
You
for
could
the
try
water.
it with milk and sugar, she says while she brings the water over.
I'm,
much better.
I'm, thank you. And he just like awkwardly shuffles out of the room towards Roland.
Ah!
Sasha, meanwhile, is like got a cup of almost purely white coffee that clearly has a lot of milk and sugar in it, and he's like sipping it next to Natasha, just like
Oh, God.
feeling super important.
Oh.
Sorry.
It reminds me of the first time I had coffee. I was like 10, and my mom let me have a little bit of her coffee, and I thought that was like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Good
All right,
morning.
so walk out into the living room. Roland's sitting in a comfy his chair that is very clearly his.
Okay.
Got a coffee mug in front of him, book on his lap.
He's gonna lower his voice more than usual to be in the morning, like man, whatever, you know, because I
Yeah.
clearly know how 15-year-old boys work. Good morning.
Morning, Dominic. How you doing, kiddo?
You know, just pretty good night's sleep. Thank you for letting me stay.
Oh, of course. I mean, we've got the spare beds, you know, from back when the kids were here all the time, and most of the time they don't get used these days, so it brings us back to times when we would have a hustle and bustle around getting kids off to get their morning routine started. So it was nice to feel like we had a whole house again. So I appreciate you wanting to stay. It's very nice.
Of course. It beats sleeping on straw.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, it does. I've done that my
What I'm
fair
used
share.
to.
Yeah, I've done that my fair share back in my day, so I completely understand what you mean.
That explains why you walk the way you do.
The manage.
Oh,
Olga
Trust
sleeps
me.
on top of her pies at night and then sells them the next.
when you get to be 300 years old, you let me know how you walk and sleep, there, young man.
I don't think that will ever happen.
Probably not, but hey, when you get older, when you get to be an old man like me, you'll understand aches and pains. You and
I'll
your
never be an old man like you.
300 years
Kinda-
you are. Look as good. You will
Foreshadowing.
not.
so I look hurt for a second, and then
I don't mean in a bad way. You're a
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
you're a great guy.
it's fine. No, I know what you meant. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay. Sorry. I
No,
You're great.
I'll take that coffee now.
And I close the book, put it back on the bookshelf, and I go and just like, do the pat in the arm, go, I know what you meant. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I'm hankering for a second cup as well as some breakfast. Did you check on the kitchen and see how things are going in there? How are they looking?
They were peeling potatoes. It smelled good. I couldn't tell you what they were making though because I'm not quite awake yet.
It's okay. Might I suggest a cup of coffee? I usually, if you look and I see it, there's a little bit left in there. I usually do a decent amount of cream and sugar because I'm not like, coffee's too bitter for me, but, Natasha likes it strong. I like mine, with a little bit on the sweeter side, so.
Maybe it's something you like when you're older. I'll stick with water for now.
It's fine. You grow into it.
Could I try yours?
Sure.
Ooh.
And I put like a decent amount of, milk and sugar in mine.
I don't want my own. Daddy, can I have yours?
Daddy, can I try some, please?
I offer him the mug.
He drinks it and he's like, that's a lot sweeter. It's a lot less bitter, but I'm not, I think I'll stick with water for now.
That's perfectly fine. You will like it or you won't like it. That's entirely up to you. Let's go check to see if they need any help in the kitchen before we get started off, because we're meeting in the marketplace. Or were we meeting in the marketplace in the morning? Thought we were.
I think that was the plan.
All right. So let's go.
Jeez.
Let's go rustle up some grub then, see where they're at, and then we'll get on our way.
This cat just sat in my dice tray.
Very nice. Oh, before I do that, all right. So we're walking. I go. Before we go, Dominic, I want to give you something. I'm gonna walk over to the bookcase. It's a decent sized bookcase. So I'm scanning. And I like kind of shuffle some books around. And I go, oh yeah, here we go. And I pull out this old. It's like very tattered, like lots of pages, like strung together a couple times. I walk over and I'm gonna hand it to him. I thought of this last night before I went to bed, and I really want you to have it. It's a copy. It's my adventuring journal from back when I was out on my own doing my own thing. I want you to have it for at least a bit and take a chance to read it, because I see the path you want to go on, and I'm hoping that maybe this will help not change your mind, because obviously you are a grown individual who can make their own decisions, but I just hope it at least gives you some perspective on what it's like.
You just gave. Go ahead.
What path I want to go on?
Well, it just feels like you want to go on, and maybe I may be misreading this, and if I am, please correct me. But you want to start going on this path of self-reflection. Find out who you are in the world, things like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just reading based on what I've seen so far.
You're not wrong, but it's not necessarily to find who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know who my father is.
Okay. And
apparently I want to find some lizards.
So this book that Roland, this journal that Roland hands you, Dominic.
If you take it.
If you.
Yeah, I do.
Take it,
I have it.
Okay.
And
Alright.
if you read this book for at least an hour a day, you can get advantage on a history check.
Oh my god! For the first time
Once a day.
ever.
Yeah, once a day. If you read the book for an hour a day, then for the following day you'll have a 1 advantage on a history check.
Okay, this is my question out of character. For Roland, at least. What skill level do I need to be in reading for this?
Oh, can you not read?
I am at a 10-year-old's reading level.
I mean, you got to think. I started journaling when I was. I mean, right when I left the house, out of character. Right when I left the house, I was 50, and so 50 in Dwarven is basically the equivalent of like 18.
And you
18,
don't
20.
necessarily. He's not a fancy talker. He's not a fancy writer. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be writing eloquently.
Well, I ask because, and this is in secret or something. I'll DM you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
Every
the
other
point
page
is,
is, this reminds me of the Wyvern.
yeah. That's an entire. The last 3 chapters of the book are completely dedicated to me telling the
entire-
Wyvern
yeah.
story. But, yeah.
And
think I'll skip
it's
over that.
highly under detailed compared to how he tells it now.
Well, because, and in my mind, it's because I'm not like, I'm, to me, an adventuring journal, especially like where I was in my life, wasn't as much telling the story about what happened, but just telling about how I was feeling while it was all happening.
Okay.
You know. So, like, obviously I'll tell the story about, like, oh yeah, today we fought some owl bears in the woods, and, you know, but I'll also add stuff about, like,
Okay.
you know, I saw one of my group get hurt really bad, and it made me, I took responsibility for that because I should have done X, Y, and Z thing, and, you know, so it's like a journal of self-reflection as well as a chronicling of what happened.
Okay.
Maybe depending on what memory you're talking about from reading, you might be able to use it on history or insight then. If he's talking about feelings and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can
so-
either garner landmarks or garner events going on, or garner people's motivations that he was able to figure out in certain situations. Kind of thing.
So insight or history?
Yeah, it would be once
Depending
a day
on
as long as
context.
you've read it. Yeah. You can be like, oh, I remember this story from Roland's book where, you know, someone was finagling him or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say, I mean, what you do with it is up to you. But I would recommend taking some time to read it, because I think there'll be something you'll get out of it besides just listening to an old man ramble on.
Well, I
And
will.
you said this is one of your earlier ones?
Yeah.
I will gladly take this. I would still like to hear some stories, though.
Oh, come
Aw.
on. When would I have ever had an opportunity not to tell a story? Don't you worry about that.
Sorry, something just like exploded in the house.
Oh, jeez.
So
I don't know.
as the boys are having their breakfast, you know, and as they're having their conversation, Natasha and Sasha would come out with food. Ruby would wake up and come out with, you know, to eat breakfast. So they're kind of having this hearty conversation, review and things for the day. Natasha's sort of like grilling you on what your plans are for the day, and you know, making sure you're not going to try and skip town on her without letting her know what the plan is.
Darling, love of my life, you should know by now that I've never kept any secrets from you. And if I started doing them now, may I be struck down from the heavens.
There's no d20s. Breakfast time.
Yeah. And roll for initiative. And I'm also gonna look at Sasha and be like, so, Natasha got any plans to, work you there, Sasha? Today?
Yeah, she said I could help keep the shop clean.
Alright, that's a big job.
She'd even pay me.
Oh, of course she would. I let you know that I made sure Natasha was not only going to pay you, but pay you fairly. Cause, you know, a hard worker like
Would never
yourself
not
should
pay
get the
someone fairly, you know that.
I'm just kidding you there, darling.
I bet
but
this
yeah-
kid's gonna work enough for a bonus, and she winks.
Oh, return the wink. No doubt, no doubt.
And he's like, I'll work as hard as possible. I'll keep that place spick and span.
All right. Well, don't work yourself too hard because, you work yourself too hard and you could, overdo it. So work hard, but don't forget to take a break once in a while.
Yeah, okay.
Don't let capitalism
And
exploit
he's still
you.
got that little, he's still got that little doll, I think, Dominic made?
Dominic made
Dominic made
shoes.
Shoes,
Ramasha
no,
made the
Ramasha
flute.
a doll.
I made
Made the
an
A
instrument.
flute. He's still got his little flute, yes. I'll practice this on my breaks.
Perfect. Who knows? You might be able to attract some people into the store with your flute playing.
Natasha's gonna love that.
And she's like, you can play it
That's what
outside.
I was thinking.
She's
What a
experienced.
great
She knows
idea!
what's up.
You can attract customers with it outside the shop.
This isn't her first rodeo. She knows what's up.
So breakfast is being had at the Longbeard house. Ashrin, as you are waking up this morning, you still feel strangely alone. You had said to your patron, I want you to tone it back a bit, and it feels like she took you pretty seriously. You don't feel like your power waning or anything like that, but you're like, usually you kind of feel like you're being watched. And you kind of haven't had that feeling for the last 24 hours-ish.
Kind of nice. It's like quiet in the back of my head. I quite like it.
You actually have 2 strands of hair out of place.
Yeah.
Oh my god! What?
Oh, no.
It's a
My
miracle.
power is failing.
No, I think she'd be happy about it.
Wake up with bedhead. What is this? Oh, it's beautiful.
What do I do? I haven't had to
I
deal
mean-
with this in 6 years.
I may not even
Right.
fix this.
So Ashrin is going to get ready fairly quickly and head out to the market. She probably got up a little bit early and was like twiddling her thumbs, knowing that not everybody, that Roland might be up that early, but nobody else will, and that they were all going to go together. And she's very anxious and not like anxious to get going, not like anxiety anxious, but she just wants to get to the next thing now that she's got a lead to follow. So
Yeah.
she'll be up and moving and getting out pretty quickly.
As she comes down the stairs, the lady behind the desk always has a pot of coffee going in the morning for herself, so she does offer you a cup of coffee before you leave.
I think she's a tea person,
Ah.
so she will say, "Oh, thanks, but no thanks. I'm gonna get a tea and out in the market today."
I should start keeping tea here. I always forget.
That's not a
Well,
problem. There's a really
have
good place
nice
just
tea
around
out.
the corner.
Be safe, Astrid.
Thank you.
So Ashwin's headed off to the market square to get some breakfast and tea from some of the stalls that are out there. She has a favorite place, I believe she goes for pastries and tea as well, which is not the Nasty Pasty.
No, I don't. It has a name, but I don't remember it. I'd have to go find it in my notes somewhere.
I will check mine while we also look into the fact that Ramasha is doing his morning stretches and waking up.
Yes.
Crumbs? Is it Crumbs Bakery?
Maybe.
Crumbs.
I have Crumbs Bakery as the only actual bakery listed, so it might be that one.
Crumbs.
Let me see if I wrote it down. I don't,
Oh, we
it's
have a
probably in
bakery
the
stall.
DM somewhere.
Cynthia's the bakery
But there's-
stall
yeah,
that
there's-
likes to scam Roland.
Oh yeah. No, there's a stall
Holds
that
me
she goes to that
hostage is
has,
what she
like,
does. She doesn't
fancy-
scam me. She holds me hostage.
that has like fancy croissants and like stuff like
Yeah,
that, like
I think that was
kind of
Crumbs.
sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it. And they also there's like a tea stall and then that place like right next to each other. So that's like
Yeah.
Ashrin's kind of like she gets like a chai style tea and then gets a pastry and that's like her typical morning.
Nice.
And so she does that and then she's like kind of like, all right, where is everybody? Come on, guys, let's go. We got
She's
stuff
like
to do.
plopped down at the square waiting, like, come on. So Ramasha's
Yeah.
waking up at his area. And Mugwort had a room right close by, as well as Mugwort was traveling with Vanessa and Barrett. So they both wake up to you and give you greetings and are glad to see you. Oh my gosh, you're still good? How did the deals go? Did you get some good prices on the seeds?
Absolutely. Very good people, I must say. Very, very good family. Please do take care around them and be sure to be kind around them. I must say, Vanessa?
Yes.
Vanessa, I must have you try this. Still a little bit left in the pipe. Light it
Oh
up.
my god. You're getting everybody
Vanessa-
addicted. You're a drug kingpin.
Well,
These are his three main
First
sort of
taste is
dip and-
free.
And she takes a long drag off her pipe. Oh my gosh, what is this, Ramasha? Oh, it's
Something-
quite harsh, but wow, I
something
feel so in tune
magnificent.
with myself.
We have seeds coming.
Wow, this is incredible. She's like looking at her hands, like looking around and stuff like that.
We'll have to deal with this later, but for now, the business at hand. They were here to pick up the seeds and so forth, but weren't they going to go do something else as well?
They were bringing money at the seeds and seeing if you needed any other assistance. Because you had come down to do recruiting and set the order up.
Yes, who are we going to go talk to, Roland?
We were going
that's
to.
right.
The group was stopping at the Nasty Pasty, and then after that, we were going to go talk to Ogden to try to chase down the name of the slumlords that
Okay.
kicked Sasha out of his house.
I have
Well-
some business I must take care of. I must tell you, though. For right now, please go see, I don't remember. Was the farm going to deliver?
You just needed to check in with them within a few days that it would take them to get it ready, and then they would bring it into the city and you'd pay there after, because you have to pay the duties and stuff.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'm just gonna, conduct business. This is where you go. This is how you deal with it. These are the people you need to go see, and I have things I need to go take care of because there's trouble afoot.
Were you gonna say something, D?
I thought the person that we needed to talk to was the constable.
The
Oh.
investigator.
Thinking
Right,
something
right,
else.
yeah. Sorry. Thanks for
Guppy was the
clarifying,
one that knew about some of the missing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
I guess the tasty fasty smasty pasty moosty is where we have to go. Masty pasty moosty.
So,
Do,
do you
do,
tell
do,
them
do.
about the nasty pasty, or do you mention it?
Do I mention it to them? Absolutely. I have no secrets. I have no secrets with my first mate.
Do you know, I think I've heard of this place. Someone said that if we had hot goods, we could get rid of them there.
Really?
Because we've got all those relics that we're getting rid of slowly from all the ships that we took when we took the island.
Interesting.
We were able to take them there in batches, and the lady there is able to get rid of them. You just have to ask for, it's like strawberry poop shake or something.
The strawberry fecal schmeats.
It's something like that.
Interesting. I wonder if we could also spread the rumor about the red sails.
Oh, we have been. Don't worry, we keep on whispering it.
Oh,
That
I
all
know.
those ships that went missing.
I'm talking about at the pastry place.
Well, you could ask her if she's heard anyone talking about it. We don't want to go telling people that that's what that we don't want to spread the story too much unless we've been involved in a wreck. You know?
We want the fear to spread wide. We want them to come to us so we can crush them.
Yes, Ramasha. Vanessa sort of sits up and she says, she puts her hand on your paw and she's like, Ramasha, we do want them to come to us, but not when we have an island full of vulnerable people that will die if they come to us.
You are very true, very true. With this, I must say, the business at hand seems as if people are being taken once again. I'm looking to see if maybe it is the same ones as before, or if this is just something local.
Mugwort is like, how could it be anyone else?
I
When you
have
got people going
no
missing,
doubt.
why wouldn't it be because someone needs new slaves?
Be sure to check in with me again before you leave.
We will. We'll let you know what they say, and let us know if you hear anything on people who need a ride back.
If you should need some cheese, I recommend that stall out the window.
And Barrett's like, oh, I love their cheese. They have the best cheese ever.
Right. With that, I'm going to.
And they salute you and then, be safe. All right. So as Ramasha makes his way into the square, he would meet up with Ashrin. Are Roland and Dominic
Ashrin?
headed out, or are you gonna what's up with you? What's your plan?
I mean, it's up to Dominic. I feel like we would finish eating and then help clean up a bit before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are we talking I guess I should clarify. I apologies for not keeping track of the calendar at the moment. Is it during the week, or are we on the weekend? So does Natasha all right, we got to wrap this up so I can go open the shop now, or is it it's opening later kind of thing?
If we started in the beginning of the week and you were gone for 3 days, we are coming up on the equivalent of Thursday, Friday.
Okay. So it's still normal business hours. I'm sure she would probably just be let's wrap this up so I can get out the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's taking Sasha with her.
Yep. Well, and Ruby would be going too, so.
Yeah, and Ruby's going anyway, yep.
Yeah, so we'd
Ogden
be walking.
did not stop by for breakfast, and he left during dinner, or after dinner last night.
Yeah, well, he went back with his family. So.
Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes he does stop by in the morning, but today he did not.
Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, I assume we would be around to help, because we would all go together since we're all going to the same area. So, Dominic, unless you're let's go now, I feel like we would just stay and help clean up and stuff before we all shove off.
That's fine.
So then Ramasha and Ashwin would probably have a moment before they're joined.
Good morning, Ashlyn. It is a pleasure to see you today.
Hello, Ramasha. Did your friends make it into town all right?
They did. They are here, and everything is wonderful. Except for the front-end man. He's a little interesting, I must say. Nonetheless, have you had breakfast yet?
Actually been here for a little while. I'm eager to get going on things now that I have a lead.
Oh, let me go
I'd
get
like
a
to
sandwich.
follow it. So yes, if you, I'll come with you just to work off some of this nervous energy. But yes, I've already eaten. Thanks.
Can I interest you in some Swiss and fish sandwich?
I'm good, thank you. I'm gonna finish my tea and I'm good, thank you. I already ate.
I call it the swish.
That's got quite a ring to it. You might want to remember that.
So Ramasha finds his swish sandwich, and
Swish switch.
Kobe.
as Ramasha is enjoying his meal and wiping off his paws, Dominic and Roland make their way up to the center of the square. You can see Ramasha and Ashrin sort of just chatting.
So, yeah, so Dominic goes off. I hang out for a little bit with Natasha, just to kind of reinforce kind of what I said, last night. Don't worry. Staying in town. This is the plan. If for some reason we need to leave town, I will let you know first and let you know when we plan on being back. Reinforcing the conversation from the previous night, so.
You better be safe out there, Mr. Longbeard.
Oh, come on.
Fixes your armor before you go.
Oh, come on, darling. How long have you known me? I'm nothing but safe. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go get my bum ankle healed.
Ha. Ha ha.
Look, love you, darling.
Ha.
So she waves you off.
All right.
And as Dominic catches up to Asher and Ramasha, Roland's a little far behind, but making his way.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Morning. Did you get breakfast?
I did. We ate at the Longbeard's house. Have you all ever had coffee?
Of course, have you not?
Before it's not It's not my cup of tea. I prefer tea, actually.
Nice.
Ashrin's in on the pun game. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I've had
Roland's
coffee.
rubbing off on me. Apologies.
Oh my gosh. I've had coffee today. It's gross.
I do not blame
Do you
you. I
want
found
to try some of my tea? It's like spiced and it has some milk in it.
Okay. He like contemplates for a second. He tries
I
it.
found-
He's
coffee is much better with seawater.
I
That's
feel
an
like that would
interesting
make
perspective.
it even more bitter. Are you allowed to drink seawater? You're not supposed to drink seawater, right?
It's a family secret.
Cats are weird.
Yeah,
Yes, they are.
agreed.
So go ahead and make a Constitution check on the tea, and under 10 you don't like it, over 10 you do.
Oh heck.
Oh, heckin'.
Under 10,
Natural 19, so I love tea
Alright,
apparently.
well, just under 10 it would be too spicy.
This is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life.
Just it doesn't taste too spicy. It doesn't taste bitter. It tastes much smoother, but it has that nice spicy bite to it that's not overbearing.
Yeah, it's like a chai. That's kind of what it was in my head.
Yeah, that's why under 10 it would have been too spicy for you.
Too spicy.
It's spicy. The
And
mayonnaise was spicy.
Oh my god, my kids! I'm like, I have them try some tea, and they're like, it tastes like dirt. It's earthy.
It's earthy.
Earthy.
You wouldn't think
Some
that.
tea is actually,
You
but
wouldn't think it, but strawberry chai, actually pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. You can put some
Oh,
berries in
I
it,
bet that is
Dominic.
good actually.
Very good.
Berries and cream.
So Dominic finds that he enjoys this tea. It much more than coffee for sure.
Yeah.
It goes down much smoother and has a much more interesting flavor.
There's no way to hide this. There's no way to hide it. I'm sorry.
I mean, we already know she blows her nose.
Off of you.
You could
I
always
have
do
a
an
nose.
impression
Oh
of.
my god.
You could do the impression of the guy from prison. You know.
Yeah. There we go. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so the party has met in the square, exchanged tea, and is there any tea to exchange that is verbal?
I would like to talk to Ashrin.
Well,
Sorry.
that's
That
all
first in
he
character
says.
or out of character?
That's all he says.
Yeah, is that in character or out of character?
That needs to be clipped.
I mean, it's
Hi.
very 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, it's par for
Someone
the
else
course.
can clip that one. Someone else can clip that one. I'm not doing it.
Par for
He
the
just
course.
walks up to Asher and burps.
Ashrin.
It's a little spicy on the tea. Ew. No, I'd like to go up to Ashrin and pull out the book, the journal, and just ask, have you ever seen these journals of Roland's?
Seen the shelf, but I've never read them. Did he lend one to you? That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're from his earlier adventures and travels.
Stay on target.
I am the target.
We're going down.
I want to read them, but I'm a bit scared that I won't understand some of it. Would you
Would you like me to help you?
Wait, do you want to be like tucked in at bedtime? She'll read the book to you.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, now I do. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to try myself at first, but I don't know if I'll be too embarrassed to ask Roland. But you knowing him the best, maybe you could help.
Can do that. I mean, as long as it's all right with you, and I don't want to step on any toes or anything, but yeah, no, I think I could do that.
Thank you. You just put the book back.
All right, and then I make it up at this point. Hey, good morning, fellow adventurers.
He's gonna spring a step.
Seriously, you folks, you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Okay,
ready.
SpongeBob, calm down.
I'm ready. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Alright, so Ashra and Ramasha, full bellies, clear minds, ready to go?
Absolutely. Are we off to see
The wizard? Sorry.
Guppy, or were we off to see the pastry chef?
I'm sorry.
Well,
I have to just point out that we do have Dorothy and the lion and kind of the Tin Man. And kind of a scarecrow.
Oh my god. In Star Heel, we're the Fellowship, and this one we're Wizard of Oz. Great.
It's actually kind of on brand.
It's a
It's really
trope,
regular as
folks.
well.
It's a
Because yours is a
trope.
lot
Oh my
more
God.
gravelly.
That's funny. Yep.
I didn't mean to derail.
That was
Apologies.
great. It's
Go
great.
ahead.
We're off to get some pastries.
The wonderful, wonderful pastries. Well, okay, so we can do this a couple ways. So we can either divide and conquer, or we can be the party that sticks together. Because I from experience, it's bad to split the party. Trust me on this. But we do have to your point, Ramasha, a couple different objectives. A couple different objectives we need to accomplish for the mission. So I think it's kind of up to I let everybody else kind of figure out if you think we need to travel together to work best, or if dividing and conquering is going to be the best route.
Ramasha's gonna kind of lean in just so that everyone in this immediate vicinity can hear him, and whisper as loudly as he can so everyone can hear over the bustling crowd around us. My own crew did tell me that they have heard of this pastry place. What is it called?
Nasty past.
Nasty pasty.
I'm like the pastry. I don't remember.
You get that it rhymes. You just don't get where.
Can this just be a new running thing with Ramasha?
He just doesn't remember the name of it.
Yeah, just that it rhymes.
The pastry, or whatever it is called. They have heard of this, and apparently they are a fence.
Okay.
Not that they cause offense, but they are a fence.
Yeah.
Do you mean a front?
That explains all of the sort of shifty characters that seem to come in and out of there. And honestly, if you think about it, it does kind of explain why it has such a terrible reputation to everybody except the guards.
I think
That's a
considering
good
that,
point.
we should probably keep the party together.
All right. Well then, well let's start with the nasty pasty. That's what it's called.
The nasty pasty, yes.
Let's start there together, and then depending upon what we find out, we'll see where it goes.
Olga, are you a morning person?
I mean, Olga would be up right now. The shop wouldn't necessarily be open yet, so that might play into things.
That's what I
Alright.
was wondering.
Yeah.
So do you want me to decide, or are you gonna? What time do you know what time she roughly opens, or?
She usually roughly opens like late morning.
Okay. So we're mid-morning here, so you can still make your way up there and basically we'll get there. I just wanted to make sure I knew that ahead of time.
Where's Guppy? Guppy McTenderfoot.
You'll have to talk to Ogden about anyone or ask people on the city watch.
Yeah.
But he did tell you that he was a constable that works in the docks.
Okay. Well, let's start. Let's see. Let's start with the nasty pasty. See if it's open, because some of these pastry shops they open right early in the morning. Some open later. I don't go to this one. I don't know when it opens. And Ashrin, you don't go to it, so you probably wouldn't really know when it opens, do you?
No, I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
most pastry shops are at least have somebody there early just to make the goods, but
True.
I only send people there as a joke.
Yeah. So let's head over there, see if there's anyone around, see what's going on, and then from there we can go see the constable. If we can't accomplish what our goal is there.
Sounds like an excellent plan. I will say that though pastry chefs may not open for a while, they are up and making their foods in addition to on the other side of the fence. Any time is a good time.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a very good point.
Ooh, does anyone remember the actual words you have to ask for?
Dominic just looks confused by the entire conversation that's
Wasn't
happening right
Ramasha
now.
the only one who knows the code word?
Yeah, Ramasha's supposed to
Yeah.
have it.
The owl hoots in the forest.
Oh my god, you
As
forgot.
As the dove tweets 3 times.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
think
things from all
Ramasha is the
way.
only one.
Yay!
Yeah. We could say they
Yeah,
wrote
I
it
think.
down.
Yeah. Bill will say Ramasha remembers.
Ramasha remembers.
Bill?
Yeah.
Is it
Bill, not
strawberry
so
or
much.
raspberry?
Ogden did
It's
say the
strawberry.
name of it, but he only knows it as a particular thing that they sell. He doesn't know that
It's the
actually-
strawberry
Oh.
excrement.
That's why he was
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
"Is it
Strawberry
a
excrement.
strawberry poop shake."
Yeah.
No, because it's on there. So I
Strawberry
guess you
fecal
could,
matter.
yeah.
Fecal
But
spritz. That's what it
if
was.
you look at it normally, you're not going to order that, right? But if you want to do business,
You order.
So
You're
it's
gonna
on the
order that.
menu. Okay.
It's a-
Yeah.
but yeah, it's on the menu, but it's really only if you want to do business. There's an actual pie just for safety, but
We could just say that, I mean, Ramasha is typically very good with names when it comes to people that he needs to remember because they're going to die. But when it comes to names of things like this, he's just like the pastry, whatever it is. It's like that doesn't matter as much. He
Strawberry
knows,
poop shake.
yeah, especially if it's up on the menu, he'll be like, "Oh, that is the one right there,
All right.
the poop one."
Let's,
I would like to go to the leather shop at some point,
oh,
if that's okay.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be now at all, but
It's
I
entirely
would
up to
like
you.
to.
I'm not one to kink shame.
What's a kink?
Good boy.
Dominic, I
Dominic.
think that we can talk about that later, maybe.
When you get older.
How much older?
I mean,
Don't worry
he's
about
old
it.
enough.
Don't worry about it. And I shoot Ramasha a dirty look.
That's what you get.
I guess I forget they don't have.
It's
the
called
internet.
role playing.
They don't have the internet in D&D.
Yeah, because that's what
No.
kink was when I was like 10. So they're like, oh wait, they don't have the internet. So
Yeah.
They don't have the internet in D&D. No one knows what a kink is.
Yeah. Sorry, Brennan.
Why do I have deja vu?
Because this usually happens at least once every session. So.
Oh wait, look at that! It's
I think
almost
we're on
nighttime.
like 4 or 5 times just this session now.
Yeah.
All right, so the party is getting ready to find the nasty pasty in the docks. They are looking for a pastry shop around the docks, kind of looking around everywhere. The docks are pretty quiet in the morning. They are very lively at night. They start getting livelier in the, just barely in the late morning, really more towards the afternoon. The nasty pasty is one of the earliest places that opens in the docks. But yeah, so it's pretty much a ghost town as you're walking through. There's some children sort of running around, occupying themselves, and there's a few people sort of like going about their morning chores, it sort of looks like. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of business going on the way that there was in the other districts as you made your way through.
Do we find anyone from the city watch on the way?
Perception check.
And do we get weird looks from the normal patrons, occupants of the docks as we're walking around?
You can make a perception check too.
16.
And
Wait.
Ashrin would be looking for Penelope, a blonde elf lady.
Oh, yeah, 19.
19. All right. And if you're
can-
keeping a lookout, go ahead and make a check, Ashrin.
If I am like not actively looking, can I just use my 16 passive perception? And just curious.
And you were, what were you looking
I haven't
for?
rolled
Just if
yet.
people were staring at you.
Yeah, just noticing if people were giving us weird looks. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
like
you can
saying,
do that.
"Oh, that person's trying to staring us down because they're gonna assassinate us." It's more just like,
Yeah. Okay. Just keeping an eye out.
"You're not normal here," kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And
I
you
get
had a
that
19
everywhere.
You had a 19 for. You were looking for.
I'm looking for the City Watch.
City Watch.
Yeah. The
So
only thing that's normal is the cat.
there is a patrol person that has been strolling slowly up the road. They're a little far ahead of you, and they just are sort of doing a normal patrol. You only see the one guard.
If we're going to cross paths, I'd like to just ask if they could just generally point me in the direction of Guppy.
They're up ahead of you. You
That's
have
not
to
gonna
run to
work,
catch
then.
up to them.
That's fine.
Later. Roland,
Later.
you can see children looking at you especially because you've got the armor, and then like Ramasha because he's an exotic looking person. You're getting some looks from like children, but there aren't many adults like, oh, who's that?
Okay, that's fair.
And then Ashrin, you were looking for Penelope.
And I rolled a 13.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of adults milling about, other than just people kind of doing their own thing, and most of the people you see are older.
Okay.
We've reached the retirement castle.
So at that point, right before we actually get to the Nasty Pasty, and well, we'll say you can get to the Nasty Pasty, and you do see that the sign is up on the window saying they're closed.
Tastes like the old days.
But you do see smoke coming from the chimney, and you can smell baking. So there is almost an assumption that they might be open somewhat.
Do they smell baking or do they smell burning pie?
Both.
Both. All right.
Baking
And
cat
I
food.
think we'll take a quick break so everybody can go to the bathroom, get some snacks, stretches, drinks, whatever you need, and we'll meet back here soon. Check out our clips while you are.
BRB.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers with some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frog and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treat to Todd if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Add off.
Now I want to hear
Literally.
that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. But you got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes so the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'm not in charge.
yeah. Woo!
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So.
Yeah.
21.
That's fair. Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
This little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a lot of
clear,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to time tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
I'm completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was.
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Rostrum!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yup.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers with some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frog and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treat for Todd if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Ooh.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. But you got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes so the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I know.
Woo!
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
Like,
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever. Completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it.
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Patty.
Catty Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was.
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Pro strip!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yeah.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers with some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands. Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Ooh.
Very second, decent.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. But you got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Woo!
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Y'all were like, whoa, what are you doing? So.
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
This little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you don't
literally
know about.
Like,
that needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever. Completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Patty.
Catty Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was.
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Pro
Yeah.
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frog and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes so the roll's less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you what I have in charge.
Woo!
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So.
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Oh,
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
This little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
how do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
I'm completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. And we're back! Hey! Kaylee, you want to bring us back in?
Kaylee has left the building.
Instead of cliffhanger, it's lap hanger.
Please, oh Jesus! Please
Lap
bring back at
dance.
a later time.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a drink, a snack, a good stretch. Got to use the bathroom. Bye, Bill.
I forgot my drink.
And we had our party meeting up for breakfast and making their way into the quiet docks this morning because the docks is much more lively the longer the day goes on. The party walked up to the Nasty Pasty and saw a sign that said closed, and there was no will return at indication. It just said closed. In fact, you could probably see just barely like scratched on the bottom. It says go away, and and.
All right.
Wait, is
But
there a
you could
voice?
smell.
Go away.
Yeah, go away.
Go away.
Go away.
Why?
So you, oh my god, that's it. Mouth and go away. But anyway, so we have the smell of cooking coming from the building. So it is clear, and other buildings nearby. So it is clear that things are going to open soon. And there's children around, like, sort of looking at you like, ooh, there's adventurers.
We could ask to use their bathroom.
I guess they're all going to be the customer that's right outside the door as soon as the place opens.
We're camping out.
All right. Well, Roland will walk up and go, well, in for a copper, in for a platinum, and knock on the door.
I'm dying.
All right, so
Don't die.
if you're out back in the kitchen, go ahead, Olga, and make a perception check to see if you hear it. We'll say it's, how loud are you knocking?
Standard issue loudness.
Okay. So we'll say it's a DC 10.
I'm not trying to be rude or anything. So.
And what's your... Yeah.
So 19 total.
Alright, so as you're working on your morning batches, checking things, seeing where they're at in the oven, spitting on the floor, whatever else you do,
Something's trying to climb out of the
you
pot. No,
hear
get back in there.
far away, because the kitchen is back in your living area, you hear far away at the front door the sound of someone knocking at the door. And Olga would... I don't know how often people try to knock before you're open. What is Olga's response?
Well, Olga's just gonna she hears it, and she's going to ignore it.
Just like, can they not read?
Allow me to try, Roland. Maybe you did
all
not
right.
knock hard enough.
All right, I step back.
You're just gonna go up and just do an old ship pounding.
All right, so this time you clearly hear someone pounding on your door to the point that there might be a concern of damage.
I'm like, by the gods,
It does not
Ramasha,
sound.
Jeez.
It does not sound like the guards knock.
You see, on the ship sometimes, if you do not knock hard enough, no one knows you're knocking. It just sounds like the ship creaking.
Okay, well, I hope you're prepared to explain that to the shopkeep there.
No, I feel like I've felt that before.
So hearing this, Olga's kind of concerned now because A, no one comes this early, and B, someone's knocking pretty hard like they're trying to break down the door. So she's gonna quietly slip a knife and kind of tuck it behind her, and she's gonna walk to the door.
Another session where PCs
I
are
would
fighting
imagine
each
she
other.
probably has one of those sliding, not a peephole, but almost like a sliding thing where you
have to
can
ask for the
see.
password.
Password!
Just sticks her hand through the mail slot.
Yeah.
Not nobody gets
Mail
the pastries,
slot.
not nobody not know how.
Is she gonna open the door, or does she have something in the door to look through and speak through?
She's just gonna open the door. And she's gonna stare at them. We're closed. Go somewhere else.
Well, at least we know she heard me.
Does she close the door after she says that?
Yeah.
Does she head back to the kitchen?
She's gonna kind of wait to see if I knock in.
Okay.
Gaming, what's up? Okay.
And
Okay.
so
All right.
this
All right, well,
would you like
okay,
to
well-
describe, Olga, what they saw when you did open the door?
So, I mean, you'd see the height you kind of expect for an old lady, not like super short, but well, I guess I think she is actually a little height.
Well, yeah, so...
And how
Yeah.
old?
Okay, she's 5 foot tall. I mean, she's around her late 50s, kind of mid to late 50s.
She's late middle-aged for a human.
Yeah,
She's human. Okay.
And she is human, right?
yeah, she is.
All right.
And how does
so I
she
go,
dress or stuff like that? Like this. Sorry, Tony.
No, you're fine. We should be doing this anyway, so go ahead. My bad.
So when Olga opens that door, tell us what she's dressed in. We know she's scowled and she's this late middle-aged human woman, probably a little hunched over. Does she look ragged? Does she how does she look compared to her shop and stuff too?
So she doesn't look ragged. She has like an apron on. You can see various stains. Some maybe look like blood stains. You're not sure.
There you go.
But it's just like normal, just average clothes, I suppose, with an apron over them. She looks like she's been hard at work all morning, or hard at not work.
Oh, and did they hear a dog barking when they were pounding?
I suppose, yeah.
Hasn't made it in the
probably
pie
on
yet?
the pounding, right?
Huh?
Probably
Yeah,
on
at
the
the
pounding.
pounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would your dog be right up at the door to try to intimidate them, or would they be behind waiting for your if you wanted them to go intimidate?
My dog obeys my commands, so the dog's not going to go unwittingly.
So
attack
they
someone.
haven't
It's-
seen it
yeah.
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
They could just hear it when Ramasha was pounding.
All right. Okay. So, open. We're closed. Boom. Roland's gonna go. Knock, knock, knock. Same volume as before.
She's going to open the door again.
My
That part is
apologies.
closed. Don't you understand?
My apologies. We were given the name of your shop. The name of your shop came up when we were recently on a job. As a place where you could find, and I look around, information. So may we come in and take a look at your wares and see what we can find out?
You want information about pies? Go make one yourself. They're pretty easy to make.
How many pies could we possibly make that have strawberry and poop in them?
Are you talking about my strawberry excrement?
Yes.
You know, not many people order those. I'm not sure you can handle it.
I do can.
We've got a pie with lizards. You might be able to handle that one better. This one's a pretty...
I look at Dominic and I'm like...
I'm sorry. Did you say a
I look at Dominic
pile?
too.
Was that a pile of lizards or was it a pie of lizards?
It's a pie with lizards. I put lizards in it, and I serve it to you. Did you want one of those? You can come when we're open.
Do you... I don't necessarily want the pie, but are these lizards live when you get them, or do you order them dead already?
Oh, I just go down to the river and I collect them myself. And
Which river?
the river just right out of town.
All right. Well, okay. Pies aside.
And maybe Olga might even say something to the effect of, if you're gonna keep blabbing, you better help her set up.
We'll gladly. We want to check the wares, check your product, and
Rolling so
and I'm
smooth.
trying to be. He's done this, but it's been 200 years since he's done this. So, and I kind of out of my pants pocket pull out a pouch of gold. And be we'll be willing to purchase some product for some information. And I'll put it back in my pocket.
I have a question before we go any further because I've already forgotten because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Did Ramasha tell us all that there was a code word? I forgot.
No.
We had actually, I thought we had all heard it from, did I hear it from
We
someone
heard
else?
it.
I thought
Ogden said
heard-
that's
heard
what they
both
ordered.
We heard
You're
one.
the
Yeah.
only one who knew that it was the actual code word.
Yeah, he just the guards order it, and it's delicious when they get it.
Well, the guards don't order the strawberry excrement. They've heard people order it.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
they
guards
order.
order something else.
They order
But-
the officer special.
Yeah, but the point is,
but-
Ramasha's the only one that knows
And
it's
Ramasha
the
said
password.
something like strawberry
That's
peach cake,
the code
which
word.
triggered
Yeah.
it in your mind that Ogden had said he had heard people order.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, if you want the... Why am I forgetting my own pie name? Oh my god.
Strawberry excrement.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Well, if you want the strawberry excrement, you'll have to wait. You might as well come in and set up the shop if you're going to be bothering me this early.
I think that's fair. Don't you think that's fair, folks?
We get to make the
I
pies.
think that's an excellent idea.
I
Have
suppose if you
you-
want to help make a pie, you can.
Have you already made the lizard pies for the morning?
By the gods.
I don't have any live lizards, if that's what you're looking for. I kill them when I find them down at the river. Because from experience, if you carry a bucket of lizards to your shop and then you set it down somewhere and they all escape,
And I'm like,
Plus, you gotta gut them down there where it's less messy.
and I'm watching Dominic at this point going I'm not sure how he's going to react to this. So I'm ready to go into grandfather mode if need be.
Could I, would you care to, do you have to go down to the river today?
I
Or
mean, it's best to catch them in the morning.
I'll go, they can set up your shop, I'm sure. We can go to the river if you like.
And I'm Dominic,
Like the 15-year-old in Dominic is finally coming out. Like he's
Lizard.
no longer trying to be like big tough man. He's,
he's
like
like, I
fully
want a lizard.
15-year-old boy right now. I need lizards.
Yep. And then so at this point I'm like, Dominic, how about we talk to this lovely lady first, and then after we talk, we can go see about getting some lizards. How about that?
But she just said it's best in the morning.
Oh, we're not gonna be here for hours, kiddo. It'll be all right. And best doesn't mean only.
You'd bet to be right. And he just kind of like huffs.
Get a lizard.
So there
Just want a
tables that have chairs on them, like up on top of them, that I'm sure Olga would have gestured that if you're gonna help out, you might as well. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Take the chairs off the tables and stuff like that.
Ashrin immediately goes into barmaid mode and starts like taking the chairs down, wiping them off, setting them up, taking the chairs down, wiping them off, setting them up.
And so Olga,
you're like her day normally.
Who's like, invigorated and opening up your shop, and you're like, oh, all right, guess that wasn't a mistake.
And I'm looking around to see. I'm just doing general vibe check on the.
Do you want to
bakery.
describe the nasty pasty?
Yeah. So as you walk in, you kind of you see it's fairly small. It's nothing like, because it's tucked in the docks. It's pretty small. There's maybe about 6 tables in there with chairs in them in the front, and then there's kind of a counter. You see some pies, some that actually look quite decent, and a lot that don't look that great. And then behind that is kind of a small kitchen, and you can see a dog hanging out there in the kitchen, lapping up something off the floor.
Better not be lizards.
It's lizard guts.
Wow.
And what does your dog look like?
So the dog's actually, you can kind of tell it's got wolf lineage in it. Maybe it's not full on a wolf right now, but you can tell it kind of has the same fur and posture and stuff as you'd expect from a wolf, but you can tell it's very domesticated as well.
Ooh, Olga is
So
a
is the
snark.
husky.
And approximate
You know
age if
nothing,
someone were to
Olga.
Look at the dog.
I think the dog's around 3
Like
years
middle-
old.
Yeah, so it's like a mid young adult kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This dog is in its prime.
Ramasha's gonna go in and take a look at the menu. There must be a menu set up, right?
Probably
Yeah,
a
there's
board,
a-
right?
Yeah, there's a board as you walk in the shop.
Would you like to give them some of the options?
So on the board, you see a few items. Unlike the strawberry excrement, these actually have decent sounding names. So you've got the honey surprise, the moonlight muffins, the cream bonnets, and the sugar dumplings on there. And right under that, you see strawberry excrement, and a little note under it. It's like, you probably can't handle this.
Which is the one with the lizards?
Well, remember, Olga said Olga wasn't making that one today.
This is true.
Yeah.
Right, so there's probably a couple of spaces that have clearly been erased.
Mhm.
And how much are her pies? Every pie's the same price? Does every pie have a different price?
They're all about the same price. They're fairly cheap too. I mean, no one
So
really
a couple of copper maybe for a pie?
Yeah. I mean, it's for a slice of pie anyway.
Oh yeah,
A
so
whole
maybe
pie.
1 copper for a slice of pie and, and 3 for a whole pie.
Yeah.
How much is the strawberry excrement?
Ooh, probably like 5 gold, right? Or like at least a gold
No
per
price
slice.
is listed. No price.
Market price.
Market price.
Upon request.
Market
Yeah.
price would be great.
If you don't see a price,
No,
you
the
can't
price
afford
is whatever I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, it just says ...
It just says yes. That's it. There's
How much
a price.
you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, it could be name your price.
What you
Very
buying?
very
What you
easy.
selling?
There you go.
All right, so as Olga is finishing up taking her pies out of the oven, some probably got burnt while she was at the door. And what else does she have to do to get her pie shop set up for the day as the adventurers are helping set up her tables?
So you see her opening her little pie display. She's tossing some older ones out and putting the pie.
Toss them on the floor for the dog.
The
There's a
good
bag
pies,
kit to put out back for the kids
in
that are
there.
homeless. They're only a day old.
There's some dead kids back
And
there.
then she's gonna walk up to the counter. So you want information? What specifically about?
I'm gonna gesture to Ashen and Ramasha. I'm gonna go. They'll be able to fill you in on kind of what we're looking for. And I'm gonna like go back to finishing helping set up, like kind of take over from Ashrin kind of thing. So.
Yeah, Ashrin's gonna walk up to the counter and pull. Well, first she's gonna say, I got some information and an item that apparently came from a young lady named Penelope, who frequents the shop, and I'm wondering if I could get some information on her, what other places she might frequent. And potentially some information about the item that I acquired.
In addition, we're
Oh,
going to...
Penelope.
Sorry.
I love her like my own daughter. So, how do you know her?
I only know her in passing, but I'm friends with a friend of hers.
Before Ashwin starts giving out too much information, Ramasha is going to interrupt. But we will also have items of trade as well.
Well, depending on the item and how you came to acquire it, shouldn't necessarily be a problem, but if a lot of people are looking for it, I might deny you.
Understandable. We do have many questions. We do have many items to trade. We will conduct business as well. Should we be expecting more patrons or possibly more help coming, or is it just us?
Well, nobody comes here. Nobody, unless they get pranked or they're just unknowing. As you can see, I don't make the best pies, and that's for a reason.
I'm gonna go over and smell one of the pies.
So as you start to tell them about Penelope, which you can restart that, because they asked for it, are you going to show them your goods, or are you still just listening to see if they just want information?
So she's just listening to kind of see if they want information. She has the goods in the back of her mind, but that's kind of just a one-off tangent that Ramasha went on. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead on Penelope.
Yep. So, because you don't know Penelope in person, what is the name of this friend of hers?
Her friend that is my friend is a young goblin named Grak, who runs with a group called the Low Elves, or at least most recently did.
Olga, you can make a history check unless you're sure she's told you about them.
Oh, Penelope would have told her about them. I mean, yeah.
Because he's been with them for a while. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she's been friends with Grak for a while, at least, you know. Oh, them. Yeah, I'm not sure why Penelope hangs out with that sort. I mean, I'll tell you, she's a lot better than my good-for-nothing son, Brody.
I have to look up.
I haven't seen him in so long, I can't remember his name.
They still...
Sorry, Brody. I mean, Grak is lovely. The rest of the Low Elves are not exactly. Well, I certainly would have considered them trustworthy, but Grak was very helpful to us most recently. But I was wondering, so Penelope gave Grak this item that I was hoping to get a little more information on. And she's going to reach in her little hip pouch and pull out the ring that she got from Grak, the emerald green ring. and show it to Olga.
I have a
Question.
question.
I'd
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
Okay.
I'd like to know a little bit about its origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go ahead with your question, Brennan, and then I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Okay. Would Olga have something similar in her
Okay.
shop?
So the question for you was going to be was similar to that. So what I'd like you to do is make a history check, unless you think you've seen a lot of these, which is probably it probably hasn't been a lot. But
Yeah,
go ahead
well,
and make a history.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna see if she's actually seen something with that, or maybe
Yeah.
she has something similar.
This isn't going to rule it. Like, if you get a 1, it's not going to rule it out completely. It's more to see how much you know, kind of thing.
And while this is going on, I'm gonna turn to Dominic and say, so Dominic, if you could have any lizard in the world, what kind of lizard would you have?
11, by the way.
There's more than one type of lizard.
I'm gonna clap him on the shoulder and be like, we're going to have quite the conversation about this. Pat, pat, pat.
I've always wanted just like the little ones that have the blue tail.
Oh yeah, I know those. Those are really good looking lizards. I'll tell you
I
that.
want to perch him
Yeah.
on my shoulder.
They look like they would make good perching pets. Yeah.
So as this is going on in the background, Olga's kind of thinking, and not only do you recognize this as one of the ancient monarch pieces of jewelry that seem to be floating around a lot, like a lot of the ancient monarchy pieces are things people, it's almost like people are pawning them for money kind of thing. You know, like, hey, I've got this from such and such family. And because they're always such well-crafted and beautiful stones, they're always worth something. And some of them are sometimes magical. You're only, you said in your 50s, so you probably don't know in-depth things about each individual royal family, but you know that the people that come to fence to you a lot, especially the bigger organizations, tend to work very closely with those families.
Okay, but would she know if she has anything kind of similar?
So if
or would have had it in the past?
Yeah, she has definitely seen items with the emerald and the hourglass. She does have a ring similar to this that's not this exact same in her back room right now, and along with a couple of other different monarchy type rings. Like, she has a collection of rings. People like come and go with them kind of thing, and she thinks she has a green one, or she knows she has at least a green one. She doesn't know if it's got the hourglass and stuff like that.
So she's gonna look. You know, I think I've got something similar out back here. You said Penelope gave this to Grat, and then he gave it to you?
Yeah, I'd really like to know where she got it. Or if you've got more, where they might be coming from.
Oh.
Well, things like this do arrive from time to time. Penelope specifically bought that ring, at least from me, after she observed it coming in, and she took quite a liking to it. So, is she alright? Why do you have that?
I personally haven't seen her in quite a while, but I've been out of town, and that's where I ran into Grackett over in Fraymore, you know, the next town up north. And she had given it to him for safekeeping, and he had passed it on to me, and along with the letter for Penelope if I happened to see her. So I haven't seen her around town, but we just got back in yesterday, so I haven't really had a chance to like look for her. When was the last time you saw her?
Well, I sent her away about a week ago to procure some items.
And Olga would know that if someone from the people she deals with is giving their things for safekeeping, they might not be in a good spot.
Well, with that, it's
So when you heard
Yeah,
Ashrin
well, yeah.
say, gave it to Grak for safekeeping, that word specifically would have triggered in you.
yeah, okay, yeah. I sent her somewhere. I'm not going to disclose, but it would make sense for her to have anything nice on her in another place.
Do I notice this change? Do I notice a change in Olga? Like sudden distress a little bit?
Probably we can do deception versus perception for that, because she's pretty used to doing this thing, so... And she might not, like, she's probably used to hearing that word.
13.
17.
Yeah, so if she makes a face, you don't see it.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I understand. Penelope bought this ring from you, and then you
Well,
sent her off for a task. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, she bought it, but at a very discounted price on what I would normally charge people.
I mean, that's fair if she's a friend of yours. I understand. So she bought it from you and then gave it to Grak for safekeeping before she went on this task for you. Where did you get the ring originally? From somebody else? Or is it... I'm just trying to trace back to where these rings might be coming from.
Those are questions Olga probably might not like hearing.
Yeah, I mean, Olga's basically trying, right now she's trying her best to deflect these questions.
Although, I will let Ashrin do persuasion on that.
Charming.
Okay.
Do I need to...
We'll do DC 15
Yeah, I was gonna say,
because you're quite skeptical of newcomers, probably.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the background, Roland's
persuasion?
like... Meanwhile, in the background, Roland's like, "No, Dominic, I swear, the lizard was like 2 feet long. It was like this big, I saw." No, but wasn't it?
Sure, you can help. You can have
No. This was like on a way other part of Aprons. Like, this was like,
Oh, for
let me
some
tell you a
Whoa,
story
whoa,
about
whoa.
where we
Is this in the
were.
book? And he just grabs the book and starts like sifting through pages. He's like, where I need this story now.
Did you draw in it at all, Tony?
No, I mean, it was just strictly
Yeah.
emotional chronicling, so no pictures
Okay.
or anything.
All right, what you got?
I got a 15.
Nice, meets it, beats it. So you can definitely tell that Ashrin is being genuine. At least, like, nobody in this group strikes you as the usual crowd that comes in, and so at worst, you think they might be naive.
Well, have you heard of the Lamplighters?
Would I?
Yes.
What have I heard of the Lamplighters?
Ashrin, that's probably a history check.
This was said.
Roland and Ramasha probably have heard of them as one of the underbelly type.
All right.
But
So at that, I
Ramasha
don't
knows,
interrupt.
But I'm not sure that Ashrin would.
Yeah, I don't interrupt, but I definitely like perk when Olga says Lamplighters. I go,
That's an.
"No, seriously, this big."
All right, this is going away. Go. Goodbye, dice. Okay. New dice. New die.
And so
I
you
can-
may have heard people in the bar talk about the lamp or talk about being lamplighters, and so like to you, you've only ever assumed that meant lighting the lamps outside the city or in the city.
I've heard the term before, but I get the sense that you mean it in a different way than I perhaps understand it.
Masha's just gonna kind of nod at you, Ashrin.
No, that I'm right. That it's
Correct.
something else.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just kind of make eye contact for a second, nod, and then look back at Olga.
Well, they're a group that procures unique items and sells them here because they could not sell them elsewhere. And lots of people come with lots of items, so anyone specific I can't quite remember, but if you know people within the Lamplighters, maybe they could point you towards some information. And she's kind of hinting her to ask more questions. So
I don't personally know anybody with the Lamplighters. Is there a person you would recommend or a place to contact them that you would recommend?
Closest lamp.
Yeah.
And Ramasha, you would know that you've heard people around the docks talk about being shown the light.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, where would we seek out the light?
if you wish to be shown the light, all you have to do... Where would... I'm assuming there's like a little like lamp or something, like anywhere the lamplighters actually house, like a little lamp or kind of a code.
Oh, okay. So the Lamplighters actual hall would be under a business somewhere in the docks. But
somewhere that makes pies.
Basically, you do have contacts. So if he's so if you're taking him at face value, you basically be like, so if you're serious, we can initiate that process, but
Okay, I wasn't sure if she was supposed to point them like away from her, or if she can directly tell, like.
Yeah, so more so if they're serious about doing it, that sure you could show them the lights, but you're not quite sure that that's what they're up for. Would they like to see your items or your wares or whatever kind of thing?
I could show you the light. It is a process, and you have to be sure.
Screwdriver in your face.
Sure that you want to be shown the light, but I'll tell you, you don't look much like the unique item procurement type.
Can Ramasha ask you a question?
Interesting.
How many lizards have you seen?
Oh my gosh, there are, I'd say, dozens of types of lizards out there. I mean, there's the one with the blue tail, there's the 2-foot one, there's some that even have like spines on their backs, like these little things, and they go, and when they get mad at someone, there is an entire world of lizards out there, my friend.
I need to know more.
Dominic's gonna start a field guide on lizards.
Dominic's guide to lizards.
To lizards.
To lizardry.
Oh, wait till we go find out about sea lizards.
He's gonna start a school of lizardry.
So go ahead, Olga.
So, can Ramasha ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You said item procurement. Do you mean actual items, or do you mean people?
Well, if you're talking about the black sails, I want nothing to do with them.
At that, literally, this is the face, just instant. I like this one. This is good. We can do lots of business.
So, if you wish to be shown the light, it means that you technically will be joining the Lamplighters Guild, and I can show you where to go, but it's up to you to make it through the trial.
Any trial will do.
Oh, good lord.
Especially if it's anyone against the black cells.
Now, is Roland interested in seeing what Olga has for goods? Or is
Ashton was going to ask at least about that one ring, for sure. Dominic's got his hand up.
What?
Go ahead.
I am interested.
Roland's not, because he's here strictly to help his friends. So he's not interested in purchasing black market items at this point. So
I'm a 15-year-old that has never seen the black market. I want to know.
And I think probably around this point, Ashrin would say something like, "Well, let me think about that for a second. But while I'm thinking about that, I would be very interested in any items that you might have to sell, especially if there are any that resemble this ring or any others."
Well, I do have one ring. I'm not sure if it has the inscription on it, but it's green. It has a green emerald on it. Looks very well made, much like yours. I could, if you'll come to the back of my shop, and she kind of motions, we can talk about it more in there.
At that point, Ashrin's definitely gonna like look over her shoulder, like, "Is anyone coming with me on the back of the shop? Because I don't want to go by myself."
Ramash is right there with you. You guys are talking about lizards. I'm already right there. It's like, just hand right on your shoulder. Just
Dominic's been waiting for this moment. He's behind.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Dominic has had his eye on
like,
that bucket of lizards this entire time.
It's right there. Totally like hand on your shoulder, like you don't have to do this alone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't know what's
She
back
also
there.
just doesn't want like Roland to get left behind, or like for them to suddenly disappear, and then Roland turns around.
Well, then you kind of see this procession. So Roland like would probably be maybe at the back, sort of making sure there's nothing shady going on or whatever. Right?
Okay.
well, yeah. But at this point, I'm basically trying to keep Dominic occupied while they're having this conversation, while also like, especially when I heard the term lamplighter, since I knew that one, I'm now like, yeah, that's a really cool story there, buddy. Yeah, totally awesome.
I love lizards.
Lizards are neat.
So
well,
like,
That's crazy.
Yeah. If Ashrin is noticing this, all of the extra like Roland watching and all that stuff, then she's gonna be like, "All right, let's go then," and follow Olga to the back.
So yeah, it sounds like the party sort of proceeds behind Olga, with Ashrin real close, Ramasha right behind, the other two right behind that. So Olga would probably pull you back behind the counter in the so there's like, it's like that flip top thing. So walking through a door right behind that, and if you were to go straight through, you would go back into the kitchen, but instead she stops and turns, and there's almost what looks like a closet. And as she opens it, it opens up into this way bigger than it looked from the door room. Sort of shelves along the walls, tables laid out with jewelry. There's everything from plain silver and gold items, and even bars with the trademark of other cities. So they're trade bars from other cities. You also see collections on mannequins, or like half mannequin. It's not like an actual mannequin, but it's like a dummy, where there's some armor sets, some weapons up on the wall, just like a whole collection of almost anything you could think of like rare and fancy goods. Roland, make a perception check.
I also want to ask about something in that. Get a moment.
And while I'm doing that, I'll go. Well, I guess I'll roll that and then see what happens from there.
Okay.
I don't have inspiration.
You needed the strawberry.
I was looking for that as well.
I don't notice a thing. So that would be. It's not. I mean, it's not bad. That is a 4 + 1 for 5.
5. Okay. So the one thing that does stick out to you is that a couple of the armor sets that you can see are extremely well made.
So I'm guessing I now cannot go and see if they have a particular.
But that was your look. That was your look from walking in the door.
Okay.
What stuck out to you was that at least a few of those armor sets are extremely well made.
All right. So at that, I'm gonna cock my head a little bit, walk closer, and see if there's a particular emblem on one of those sets of armor somewhere.
All right. So you can make a roll. One more roll for we're gonna do perception, but you can apply your dwarven thing. So we'll just do it with advantage.
Can I also roll?
Yeah,
You're
everybody
gonna
else
check for
can look.
lizards.
I'm trying to find something.
No, I see that he's looking at the armor,
Are you
and I'm like, ooh.
are you talking about the stone cunning?
What are we?
Right, so this is similar to that because you're recognizing you see some really good performance on some armor, and you know really well what that looks like.
Okay. All right. So
What are we-
okay. So that's for a history check, and I could double my proficiency bonus on a history check. So am I
All right,
doubling
so-
my
Yeah,
perception?
proficiency bonus on. Yeah, investigation or perception, your choice.
I mean,
Well, my-
you'd be
my-
checking the history of these pieces of armor.
Well, I'm looking to see if they're Natasha's. That's really what I'm
Exactly.
Right.
more than
So,
anything.
I mean,
So see where
Yeah.
they're coming from.
So
it's
So
actually probably more investigation, but if perception is better, you can use it.
my investigation is better. So
Okay.
but just +2. But am I adding my bonus because we're the stone cunning thing?
Double your
My-
proficiency.
Double my proficiency. Okay, so that'll give me a +4.
I rolled a 13.
What are you looking for?
I'm just
Lizards.
looking. No, I'm just looking at the armor, but I'm looking to see if I see the emblem.
You're looking for what Ashwin was looking for?
No, I'm looking at the
What
armor
Roland's looking for.
that Roland is looking at. I just want to see if I see
So-
the.
Okay.
Are you helping Roland?
No.
And that would be a 3 + 4 for 7.
I roll a 13. Do I see it?
See what?
Well, because I saw it on Natasha the night before, so it would like.
Well, yeah, and you see it on mine too, because she has her stamp on
Yeah.
my armor.
Yeah.
Alright,
So.
okay. So on one of the breastplates sitting on a mannequin, you do see down on the bottom corner an emblem that looks very much like Roland's.
Does Roland see it?
No.
I don't. All right, so I go look at these two fine pieces of armor, and I go,
But once
these-
again, Roland, they strike you as incredibly well made, as
Yeah.
if like you know someone at least as talented as Natasha made them.
yeah, and I will say, wow, I don't know where you got these from, but these two pieces of armor right here are really well made.
I walk up behind him at that point, and I just go. I think you did. And I just kind
No.
of point at the
One
sigil.
of them has it. Yeah.
And I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna and I'm gonna turn to Olga and be like, "Do you happen to know who provided this piece of armor to you?"
Well, this is going on. I roll for perception as well.
Question.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if there's any traps in this room or like hidden doors where people can jump out on us.
Okay.
There's a
And what's up, Brendan?
So would have it just been someone just random within the guild sold her this armor, or would have been
History.
someone specific?
You can make a history check.
Perception.
And I'm like, I'm like very intense with my look on Olga because this is very important to me.
16.
All right. So yeah, this was a part of a lot that came in.
17.
You don't see any immediate dangers.
Okay.
So
And
do you?
because a lot of times, Olga, you get lots of,
Uh-huh.
of goods from like, especially when the black sales do come in. The business that they do with you is dropping off lots of goods and getting paid for it. Because you know you can get insane bank for the price that you give them.
So do you know who turned this in?
Well, this is kind of going to contradict what I said earlier. Keep in mind, I have reservations about what they do, but sometimes they come in and I have to do business with them for my safety, but also when they sell me things, they're usually really nice things.
Well,
Ooh.
I will tell you that this suit of armor, and thank you for pointing this out, Dominic. I'm surprised I missed that before.
No problem.
So this is from the Gilded Hammer, which is my wife's. You know the Gilded Hammer?
No, I mostly stick to the docks and just kind of.
Well, what I will say is, I am married to the person that most likely made this very fine suit of armor. So if it is possible, I would very much like to acquire it to take it back to her so she could clean it up, fix any issues with it, and resell it at her shop where it truly belongs.
Can I make a persuasion?
What would you like to say?
So she's like, well, for the right price, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement.
That's absolutely a persuasion.
So 10 total.
Okay. So I would leave that as Roland, you feel that she understands what you're saying, but is still a businesswoman. And is kind of in what's that word? Insinuating that she can give you a good price.
Well,
At least the price didn't go up.
right. Well, let's talk price, and then we'll see where we can go from there. Because I understand you got to make money, but you also got to understand that this belongs back at my wife's shop.
And I do have a question. You did not tell me, you did not say who you have to watch out for, and how did you contradict yourself? Who comes here?
Well, you know, I said we didn't want anything to do with the black sales, but unfortunately, sometimes I have to do business with them, or they would take my shop.
Ramesh is just going to slam a table. Personal preference. Walk out.
Ramasha has left the building.
There goes Ashton's backup.
We're all there. We're all there with you. We got you.
So
Ramesh is just seeing red. Try not to kill Olga at this point.
The other thing that you see around the room, amongst the jewelry tables, is more than one green ring. There's 3 green rings, 2 blue rings, 2 red rings, and a bunch of other silver and gold rings.
And 3 green rings, 2 blue, 2 red.
Yep. And also a yellow. Amongst other fine jewelry, there's silverware, there's bangles, there's just a bunch, you know, you can see that she's a very reputable fence.
Kaylee or Brennan, do you guys want to give me a price on the armor?
Well,
Yeah.
actually, so
Oh, go ahead.
if you want to ask her about this now, try to make a deal now, because I have something that she's gonna say that will kind of dictate that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just say, well, while Ashwin's looking at the rings and stuff, I'm gonna say, so what do you have this listed at?
Well, usually I don't have prices listed. It's just whatever we come in agreement to. Because you know a lot about this particular set of armor, perhaps you could tell me what it would normally be sold for in good condition, and we can kind of lower it from there to a price you would think is fair.
Natasha
very
would
fair.
sell it brand new for 500.
500.
No, well, Natasha would sell a breastplate brand new for 500.
Right.
This is obviously very
gold,
different.
silver.
Gold, sorry.
Okay.
Well,
I'm telling Roland that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, what I would say is based on the fact that, it does look really good, but it is definitely used. You can see, and I start pointing out like dings and scratches and stuff. I would say this would probably go in the current condition it's in my wife's shop for about 250 gold.
I think that sounds reasonable. It has seen some years, it looks like. So I'm happy with that price if you are.
I absolutely am, and I will pull out my pouch because I didn't empty my pockets because I knew we were going to the docks. So I empty up my pouch, take the 250 gold that we earned from the wyvern, and give it to Olga.
You gonna consult the party about this, or you just giving?
This is my personal. This is my personal stash.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So as you pull that off, even before you flip it over, you're going to see the inscription on the inside. And you do.
Okay. There's an inscription. So I pull it off and I look at it.
The inscription that Natasha put the prayer of your family.
Oh no.
And you absolutely recognize this as Mira's breastplate.
No.
I'm sitting there staring. Like, I literally, handed the gold, saw it, and I'm not moving.
Not me, IRL, getting ready to cry right now.
The one thing you see on this is that there are no bangs, there are no huge dents, there is no blood on this breastplate. It does not look like it has seen. It's got the scratches and scuffs that you mentioned, but it does not look like it has seen a huge battle.
I'm still silently staring. So if anybody move on, I'm still silently
Roland
staring.
goes white in the face with the breastplate in his hands.
I'm not back out in the main area with the pies. I'm just in the hallway outside this room, pacing back and forth, angry.
I have two things. First, is there anything in this room that might interest me? And second, I want to communicate with Roland, but I want an answer from you first.
Okay. So as you're kind of looking around, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, good.
Definitely more wrapped up in looking at the rings and not noticing Roland, by the way. Would have heard the exchange, but isn't looking, so wouldn't have noticed Roland go still.
17.
The thing that sticks out to you is that there are quite a few bangles and the yellow ring that have that sun emblem that is on your arrow.
Okay.
And there's finely crafted arrows and bows in another section, but none of them seem to be as good as the bow you currently have.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of mention in passing. Hey, Roland, look at this this ring. It's got the same sun in it. Are you
Nothing.
okay?
Nothing.
Roland? And I just kind of put my hand on his shoulder to shake him a little bit. Roland, what's wrong?
I'm gonna stare at Olga. Who gave you this?
Well, like I said, I don't know anyone personally. They just come by, but they do tell me they are with the Black Sails, and if I don't do business with them, and I don't give them more than what you would normally pay for an item.
My hands are shaking at this point.
Can I hear this?
And just that this one came in on a lot from the Black Sails.
This particular item, sometimes they bulk items, and I just open a crate and there's all these items, and I just paid them the amount for the crate.
When?
And this one, you make a history check on on how close you can get to the exact time that it was brought in.
Guess what? Natural
Did you get a
20.
nat 20?
Yes!
Nice.
Natural 20.
Good.
This one came in 3 weeks ago.
Well, this particular, it came in the crate. This crate, this is actually the last time I had to do my dealings with them. Was about 3 weeks ago.
From where?
Well, they pull up in their ship up to the docks and they unload the crates. I don't ask too many questions, and I buy it, and they go on their way.
And
In the hallway, you would have heard the black sails mentioned at least twice.
Did I hear black sails? And once again, I have to for my safety.
You just would have heard her talking about the black sails.
And walking by the door at one point, he's just gonna, just kind of look in and go, "Bush Plaza!" Just keep going.
And she's gonna be like, "Is he all right?"
No one knows, really.
And I'm out. Taking the armor with me, but I'm out. Not a word.
What do you know about this ring? And he holds up the yellow.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to make a history check again to see if she knows about the royal family that it's tied
Pacific,
to.
yeah.
Ugh, 3.
Dang it.
She would know that it is an emblem from a monarchy, and Sunmarshport is a current monarchy. And so that it is the emblem from Sunmarshport. So she could embellish it and say it probably came from a royal, from the court, or she could, kind of be like, it's from someone up there. So that part's up to you.
Well, I mean, she's sensing that these aren't her usual, dopey customers that she would sell things to. Well, I know it's from maybe somewhere near Sunmarshport. I'm not sure. This particular ring came with a set of rings. Actually, the one you have might have come in this set. I have another one like it, but they just came from someone within the guild who was looking to quickly pawn off their items and be on their way.
Anyone with any knowledge of the way that the monarchies work and stuff like that would know that there's a lot of that, like stealing, banditry on the roads to take their stuff, or just stealing on the streets and then pawning off monarchies' good relics and stuff like that.
With seeing Roland leave the room, Raj is going to come back in.
What did you do to him?
And if, especially with that whole deal and so forth, anytime in between speaking, just going to go over to Olga. If you help them, if you do business with them, if you don't stand against them, you're supporting them.
I'll just kind of take a step back.
Bap.
Right? Like, are you gonna defend my shop?
Okay, so she's gonna
I defend. Actually, is Olga saying that?
No, so she's like, well, it's not like I've got a choice.
We all have a choice. I have made that choice. Ramashar fights against the Black Sails. You will not fight the Black Sails, you help the Black Sails.
I would very much not like to. If I had my choice, I wouldn't help them. They took whatever from me.
That
I
broke
had
up.
no choice.
That
They
broke up.
had me several.
You might want to repeat that.
Yeah, we're missing everything you said.
I couldn't hear that. Yeah.
Y'all
Say
hear
that
me?
again.
No?
Yep, you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, it's not like I if I had a choice, I wouldn't do business with them. They took my mother from me, and they aren't shy about making threats to me, my shop, if I don't do business with them, I mean, people within the Lamplighters even have to do business with them. Even the higher ups, they've got a higher foothold than we do, and I just kind of have to do what I'm told.
Ramasha's gonna kind of interrupt right in the middle of you saying that and just tear open his jacket and expose where his heart would be and say, "They took everything from Ramasha! You don't understand! They took everything! I fight because they took everything! You have choice. Do not stand for the tyranny. Are you two done?"
Well, I was gonna say, while that was happening, I'm gonna peace out with the ring.
You're gonna try to take it, so let's
Yep.
make a stealth. I mean, sleight of hand. And you get to make a perception.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would, since
21.
he's yelling, we won't have advantage.
I'm Dominic. I'm good at everything.
I'm gonna take this ring.
So close, 19.
Oh.
Right, so with Ramasha screaming in your face, you absolutely do not see Dominic sort of backing up, pocketing the yellow ring, and you said you left the room as well? So
Yeah,
what-
I'm going
what notice
after
was
Roland.
Leaving the room after Roland.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so Olga, I don't know if this would sort of move you to be like expressing the fact that you do want to stand against them, and maybe that this is maybe something you've been waiting to hear for a long time.
Well, she's gonna look.
Ramasha's just so angry, just in your face and everything, turning, not even turning to look at them. Okay.
Before Olga answers that, Ashrin, when Ramasha asked, "Are you two done?" Because Ashrin's just been looking at the rings all this whole time, until maybe Roland walked out. Then she probably started paying attention to what else was going on. Ashrin's gonna walk up to Ramasha and just put her hand on his shoulder, like here, and say, "Ramasha, this is the first lead that I've had. I'm not done. I need to speak with her, and I need to find out more. I understand your position, but I need more time. I need to talk with her."
He's not. The gaze is not leaving Olga. Still staring, still so angry, but you could just see, just softening a little bit, and without turning, just looking down for a moment. "I will not deny you your information, Ashrin. But I will not do business with a coward."
Roasted.
And she's gonna look at him. "You really think me, as small as I am, as old as I am, can stand up to those people?"
Yes. I have seen smaller. I have seen frailer. I have seen sicker. I have seen maybe older. Looking up and down, maybe.
300 years old.
And so the other thing that she would sort of look at you and is, okay, so are you gonna take on a dozen people at once?
Say that to me?
Yeah.
No,
because,
okay. So she's gonna look.
or just that they never come alone.
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's not like they come one-on-one. I can't take 12 people on myself.
I have. With less.
So are you offering... Because I very much like to not have to do business with them. I hate them. Are you offering to protect my shop from them?
At this point, Ramash is trying to get out of the anger stage and is trying to get back into business. Goose Fraba. Goose Fraba. Possibly. I cannot discuss this at this time. I'm still very much fired up.
I understand.
I can still see my little one.
Has Ramasha processed at all that they took her mother? She stated it a few times.
Is at this point starting to realize some of the things that you said, but it's just before this, it was just Ramasha was seeing it as you're dealing with the people that have taken everything from him, and you're just okay with it. You're just okay with what they've taken from Ramasha.
That's what he felt like.
Yeah, well, that's what I was asking. Because, like, was he so angry that he wouldn't have processed that information?
Because she was trying to let him see that, like, that she doesn't want anything to do with them. She doesn't have a choice.
It didn't matter what you said. As soon as you said, well, they took, didn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't understand what they took from me.
So you've definitely not also seen this type of fire in adventurers or anyone coming into your shop for a long time. You usually get the criminal types, the people with the dead eyes, the people that know what something should be costing and they're trying to short you. Whereas these people have this genuine bend to them, and you definitely saw the look in the dwarf's eyes, and you know that you're probably getting a feeling of like, maybe I'll look back through my books and see if there's anything I can give this guy later, but also seeing that hope of these people hate them as much as I do.
Ramasha's going to turn away from you and going to go stand near the door. But as he turns and he stops and says, I cannot protect your store. Only you can do that. Your actions, your words, what you do, what is in here is what will protect your shop. We all work together to destroy what they are. And they will cease to be if I can put my name to it. It is up to you.
So she's going to look at him. Do you know of some people that could help me with that?
I may. He's going to go over and lean against the door with his arms crossed.
So Ashrin, you've been having a good look at everything, listening to the conversations. What's been on your mind?
Well, initially, Ashrin was perusing all the rings, looking for, basically like that list of all the different colors and how many there were, looking for similarities between the ring that she got from Grak and then the ring that she got from her father, the ring that is from her father, to see if any of them look similar, if there's any similar qualities, and just what they look like in general. And then she wouldn't have, like I said, she wouldn't have noticed until Roland walked out what else was going on, and then obviously witnessed all of the drama with Ramasha.
I mean, you'll definitely notice that Olga's kind of taken aback at the fury of this giant cat. So,
which kind of gives you a tell of when she's literally alone being intimidated by half a dozen or a dozen people from the Black Sails. This is probably you could only imagine that this is a similar look that she got the first few times that they tried to quote unquote put her in line. Ashrin, as you are looking around, you do see that all of the green rings, both the one that Grak gave you, the one you're wearing, and the ones in the display, are shaped similarly. The stones are cut similarly. Without picking them up, you can't tell much else other than the fact that all the stones look very similar. And then the same thing with the blue ones. So they're not the same shape as the green ones, but all of the blue ones are cut very similarly. And both of the red ones, so it's clear to see that people have been pawning off royal jewelry.
And do they all have the etching of the hourglass underneath?
So are you gonna be picking them up and looking at them then?
I'm gonna once Ramasha's like up against the door and is clearly done with the conversation, Ashton's gonna turn to Olga and just say, I'm sorry, ma'am. Oh, also, by the way, my name's Ashrin. I don't think I caught yours.
It's Olga. Olga Brightwood.
It's nice to meet you, Olga.
Not so good.
You're not helping, Ramasha. Would it be all right if I took a closer look at some of these just to compare them to the ring that I have?
Sure, go ahead. I've clearly not made friends here, so do what you need to do.
I'm mad at you.
Thank you.
I mean, she doesn't know that. She just sees
Yeah, I know.
Ramashi yelling at her, and
and Ashrin is like trying to be extra like nice and polite and like in compensation.
Let me say this. Right.
Please don't throw me out. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and make a perception. Investigation check with advantage.
With advantage. Okay. Investigation. That's a 19.
Look at that. All right. So you are clearly able to see that, some of them have behind the stone, some of them have inside the band, but there is an hourglass in each one of the green ones. And
any other inscriptions or anything in any of the bands?
No, these ones. Oh, I dropped both my 20s tonight. These ones only have the hourglass. None have text. The one of the blue ones. Are you looking at all of them or just the green ones?
I probably looking at just the green ones, honestly. Christy wants to look at all of them, but Ashrin would only be looking at the green ones.
Well, as you're looking at the green ones, the blue one that's closest to the green one, you can see an eye clearly engraved into the stone and inlaid with silver.
the letter I or an
I like the letter.
The letter I. The letter I.
Oh,
Okay.
I was totally picturing like an eyeball.
No. The letter I. And I think we said it was a mountain.
I thought it was a W in the mountain.
It was a W in the mountain.
I lied. It was a W. Just kidding. It was a W.
Okay. No eyes.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a W. Okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's totally a W.
Was it 2 or 3 red rings?
There's 2 red rings.
2, okay. We're just making sure we're done right.
Okay, and then once she's done, like, kind of picking them up and handling them, she's just gonna turn to Olga and say, I have a spell to detect magic. Would you mind if I cast it?
I'm not familiar with magic users, but go ahead.
Thank you. And she just kind of does her little detect magic spell over the rings.
Okay, so this tells us class of magic and
presence of magic within 30 feet. You see a faint aura around any visible
we
creature
got
or
so
object
far.
in the
I thought
area
you weren't gonna do it.
that bears magic.
All right.
Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 foot of dirt.
Okay.
30
There's a
feet, I'm
lot-
assuming, would be like the whole shop, but
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this room, and so from a few of the different pieces, you are getting some magical auras. You're getting a lot of abjuration. I don't know the other schools by heart, but there are a few magical items in this room, which are mixed among others, and so Olga mentioning she doesn't know much about magic users tells you that she probably doesn't know there's magic items in this room.
Price just went up.
Hey-o.
Does everyone see glowing or just you?
Yeah, that's
I think it's only the
so
person
the
who
spell says you sense the presence of magic. If you sense magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura. I think I'm the only one that
So you're
sees
the
the
only one
aura.
that sees it. Okay, so yep, you're the only
Yeah,
one.
that's the way I would read it.
Yep, you're out of the dozens of items in this room, you're gathering at least 10 magical presences from the random items in the room.
Okay, any of
No,
the...
I can't give you each one until, but
no, I wouldn't ask for each one. I wouldn't ask for each one. But are any of the like gemmed rings magical? Because that's specifically what I was looking. I would know the rest of the room, but specifically I was looking at those rings.
So one of the green rings has a faint abjuration aura. Most of what you're catching is abjuration, as if it was just like somebody has a protection ring, or a protection band, or a protection necklace, or a, But and like I said, the way that it's all mixed in, you get the feeling that Olga didn't know that any of it's.
Olga has no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think.
Just because it's all such high craftsmanship, she's going by silver and gemstones.
The way it looks, and yeah. Instead of whether it's magical or not. Okay. All right. So, Olga, I noticed you have several more of these green rings, these emerald rings with this hourglass etched into it. Do you know the origin of any of these, or where they might have come from? Are they just from Hazelport, or do they come from farther away? Anything you can tell me about where these rings come would be very valuable.
A history check on what you've been told about that. Yep.
$17 total.
All right. So, in what you've been told about that, all of the Emerald Shores rings that have the hourglass are from the old family. And the old family has been gone for a long time, and that's what makes them so valuable.
Well, what I do know about these particular rings, they come from Emerald Shores, from an older ruling family. This actually makes them quite rare. Sure, this set here is only one of the few that are even in the world left over.
Yet there's still plenty
because
of room.
Emerald Shores
there was only one.
hourglass. Because Emerald Shores doesn't use the hourglass anymore.
Yeah. And Ashton's just gonna be like dejected at this point. Like, I used to think that there was only one, and now I find out that they're everywhere, apparently. And nobody knows where they came from, and it's very disappointing, to be honest.
Plodding fingers.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. So, I can tell you that you have at least half a dozen, a few more potentially, magical items in amongst your collection here.
Olga,
I'll
that
tell you which ones those are.
Yeah.
I can tell you what they are and the little bit that I can tell about them. If you can help me track down the origin of one of these rings, where they're coming from, or if they're coming from all over. Because I've had a ring for a very long time, and I'm trying to track down the person that it belonged to. A different one from Grak. The one that I got from Grak. And any information would be good information at this point, because I was really hoping that coming here and talking to you about this ring would be a step along my path, and it just feels like another dead end. But I'm willing to help.
So the one
Maybe
you're talking about.
I'm willing to help you if you would help me.
Okay, so the green one she has is hers, or the one on Grak gave her?
I haven't shown you the one that I have.
Okay.
I've only shown you the one that Grak gave. But I mentioned that I have another one.
Yeah.
Well, many rings come by here. Usually they're different royal families. Sometimes I know about them, sometimes I don't. A lot of the rings come from people within the guild. They say they might have swiped them at a royal ball, or sometimes, there's bandit raids on traveling caravans with royals in them, and they take what they need and send them on their way. Sometimes people get killed, but we generally try not to kill people. It draws too much attention. But if you've ever encountered bandits on the road, they might have connections to the guild, they might not. If you see a lamplight encrusted on their armor, usually on the shoulder, you can tell they're within the guild, and if you're in the know, you just give them the phrase, I've been shown the light, and they know that you are with the guild, and we try usually not to raid each other.
And everyone that went to Fraymore and talked to that prisoner would know that there were no insignia on their armor.
Why would you need to raid someone? You already helped the people who do.
Chatting from the door.
Sassy frass over there.
We're coming up. It is 11 o'clock, so I really love where this is going.
I know.
I think that we've got some conversation to be had, and I almost think that in the wrap up, I might be able to help sort of tie this into the cliffhanger that will become the next chapter. So I think
it's gonna be a cliffhanger.
I think that what might be best, and I hope Tony, as a player, okay, and I hope that you caught the armor's not damaged. I hope that there is some hope in Roland, and that he is not completely hopeless at this point. But I think that maybe we might be able to sort of maybe make this work in the wrap up if we do some meeting off street. Listen, you'll love me when it actually plays out.
I'm kidding.
Find a way to convince Ramasha that.
It's funny. This is way more tense than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Although I actually was worried it might be even more tense. So it's sort of like middle of the road.
Well, the problem is now
this sort of criminal character that comes in made it. It brings in that sort of where are you actually at? Like,
Roland is now really going to be emotionally conflicted at this point.
The real
he
conflict
did walk out before hearing
God.
that Olga has
and
some
cliffhanger here
of not wanting these people to succeed.
Dominic not finding any lizards.
That's it.
Yep.
But we do know the
really is. That's really
that is the
tragedy
biggest.
of
That
the
is the
whole.
worst of all of this. It's the worst thing.
Yeah.
He just wants a lizard
All
with
the
a blue
lizards.
tail that he can perch on his shoulder.
I just want a lizard. Just a garden lizard. Dang it.
I absolutely love the way that y'all are pulling this story in so many directions. Like, even the pieces that I decided ahead of time, you're able to just be turn it into something so much bigger than what I thought. So I'm really excited for this. Go ahead,
The funny
Brendan.
thing is I'm actually real life struggling to say something that's not going to set Ramasha off.
IRL.
Right, and that was that sort of Ramasha's this sort of hero, because this frail old lady's like, what are you gonna do against it? What do you expect me to do against a dozen people in my shop? And he's like, I'd fight them all. And she's like, okay, but I die.
Yeah.
I'm a 50-year-old woman. Come on now.
And so I really like the fact that even though it has been tense, there's sort of this groundwork of Olga sees a chance at something she hasn't seen in a long time, and that's people that are good, who actually want to work for good and are not just out to make a buck. The fact that someone just told her goods are more valuable is probably huge to Olga. That's wait, what? You just went against the entire code, because instead you should have bought this off me cheap and then gone and sold it yourself.
Wait,
well,
there's magic coming from your pies. They're magically delicious.
She could tell kind of from the beginning that they were kind of too well mannered to be your regular shifty, quickly sell my goods and go type of people, which is why she was kind of hesitant to, so give them
Are they
information.
sure they even want this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm really excited, and I think that with some conversations off stream, we can be ready for a wrap-up next time, or we will let you know if maybe we need a little more conversation. We'll let you know by next week.
Sure.
But I'm really excited. I'm sad to see this be wrapping up because this is exciting, but this is the fun that we had when we all had our dreams with Tony, which is kind of why I laid this seed now. Like I said, I hope Roland is not completely feeling hopeless.
We've been planning
he's gonna be a
this in the back,
mess.
by the way. We've been.
We
planning
have
these
been.
things in
This
the
was
back.
like one of the things that was like, this has to happen.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, because we're coming up with connections to all the players that
you have to.
exist,
I love how
knowing
Dominic's
them.
like, I'll take that.
well done. It's really well done.
Dominic said something to examine as well.
Uh-huh.
So we'll probably have a little description of that next time. And we will move on to see what happens for our adventurers as they get ready to move on to the next chapter of their lives. And as we reintroduce ourselves to the party of Starheels.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for
Finally got
tonight,
to
we
play
have
Olga.
definitely run late. I'm glad we finally got to meet Olga. This was so much fun.
Wow, yeah, for sure, absolutely. Woo-hoo.
Olga's going to be a blast in the next chapter of Ocerrya. It is unfortunately time to get back to the real world because it is after 11 for us folks here on the East Coast. Keep your eyes peeled for some super secret stuff coming. And
super secret squirrel.
Watch out for the replay tomorrow. We are also in the process of moving the replays to YouTube as well. We do have to wait that grace period, so we may continue to keep them up on Twitch for the people that like to see the replay on Twitch. But check us out on YouTube, check us out on TikTok. Please, we are really excited about the growth that we're seeing there, and we want to show you more. So until next time, adventurers, we will catch you. See you later.
Bye.